This video is brought to you by the SEM Academy. Another day, another sneaky update from Google. As we all know, automation is going to be a massive part of digital marketing going forward, but Google are taking things a bit too far and taking too many choices out of the hands of advertisers. If you're running an advertising campaign on Google Ads, you will understand that there is a recommendations tab, and within that tab, you'll see tons of suggestions you can apply to campaigns. There are also suggestions you can auto apply as well. I've talked about that on a previous video where Google are incentivizing advertisers with $100 to turn on automatic recommendations. I didn't say you should do that then. I really said you shouldn't do that then, but I mean it even more now, because what Google have done just now is actually shocking. There is a recommendation you can enable in Google Ads, which used to be kind of a safe bet in terms of their automated recommendations, that you can remove redundant keywords from your account. And what that means is if you have duplicate keywords in your account, it can pollute your data, and it's something you should do. You shouldn't have multiple variations of keywords in your account. If a keyword is redundant, then it makes sense to remove it, right? Well, Google took this very plain and simple rule to remove redundant keywords, and they've taken it up a notch. And what they're doing now is they're calling keywords that are various match types redundant. So if in your account you have a broad match variation of your keyword and an exact match variation of your keyword, Google will decide that the exact match variation is redundant. And the worst thing about this change is that Google are allowing it to happen after you've accepted the previous premise. If you've turned on these changes automatically previously, you would be in the mind that you're replacing or removing redundant keywords with a like for like. So if you have two of the same keyword match type in your account, it will remove that redundant keyword. If you've enabled this since January of this year, it can actually change the variant to broad match instead, even though you haven't accepted that specific term. This is terrible. We know that Google are pushing automation, and yes, we've talked about it on the channel a ton, and we know that's going to happen. The difference between previous changes and this one is that you could and you can decide your keyword match types right now. Google have taken that choice out of your hand, even though it's an available option in your Google Ads account, and something they know most advertisers don't want to do. They don't want to change their keyword match types, otherwise they wouldn't have set the campaign up in that way. Do you know what made me also think this update was incredibly crazy? It's the fact that search engine land, who seldom go against Google's word or don't report negatively, they're pretty neutral in the advertising space, they actually said they don't want people to automatically apply Google's recommendations. In fact, their exact headline for the article they wrote about this was why advertisers should reconsider Google Ads recommendations. That is insane. Google Ads search liaison Ginny Marvin weighed in on this on Twitter, and the tweet that stuck out to me the most was the reason she gave as to why Google are making this change. She says it's down to ease of use. She says if you already have an equivalent broad match keyword in your account, removing redundant phrase and exact match keywords still allows your ads to appear for those same searches without having to manage those extra keywords. Kind of a strange answer, because the biggest glaring obvious thing here is, yes, your ads could still show for the broad match variant, but they'll also show for a ton more different searches, irrelevant to what you're looking for. Broad match traffic is not that accurate, and there are issues with the quality. So she's completely skipped over the fact that this more loose match type is going to give you worse traffic, and saying that you're going to show for your phrase and exact anyway when you use broad match. Yes, but what's the cost? You're going to spend so much money on broad as a result of this change. So where do we go from here? Well, I, for one, won't be turning on any kind of recommendations in Google Ads. And in fact, I barely even go to the recommendations tab anyway, because I can tell when certain things need doing. For example, if a campaign is under budget or over budget. Interestingly, actually, Google don't tell you when your campaign is over budgeted. They never tell you that. They only tell you when you need to add more budget. So are they really that helpful? Do they really care? The answer to me at this point is no. And I've got a video coming out about the direction of travel in the long term that Google are going to take with their advertising platform and what could be in store in the future. But let's just say this. The accuracy of Google Ads is no longer going to be a factor in the long term. And this change highlights specifically that I'm on the right track here in my thinking, that Google Ads as a product is no longer going to be about accuracy, about matching people bottom of funnel to a very specific search. It's all going to be about mid-funnel journey marketing. And this shows exactly what their intent is in the long term. This video was brought to you by the SEMacademy.com, my Google Ads training center that goes way beyond Google Ads alone. You can also understand how to set up advanced conversion tracking using the Google Tag Manager, how to set up experimentation for your landing pages using Google Optimize, and way more beyond that. In fact, you also get direct access to Ask Me anything, anytime as well. So head over to the SEMacademy.com and start your free trial today. But what do you think? Do you think this is a good move from Google? Do you think that going broad match and pushing broad match is a good idea? Or maybe you disagree and you're like me and you think it's a terrible move by Google to push their agenda. Let me know in the comments below. I reply to pretty much every single comment. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other content on the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.